It's just gonna get worse, Dad. Just gonna forget everything.
She's my girl, Bit. You can't take my girl away from me.
To be in the business as long as you have, to have been working as consistently as you have, and to get a role like this again, and, you know, like we know with Jackie Brown and several other things you've done, but this is a great part. Did you know it the minute you saw it?
Yes. Oh, it was on the page. There are very few scripts that are anywhere near as good as this. And listen, the first joke where I swear at the car, I was sure that it was a picture that I was going to be able to handle nicely when I tell them, fuck the Camry. It's you know. And so, right from the beginning, I knew that this was a picture that was about me. And I'm a parent. I'm a parent over 200 years, I am proud to say, if you count up the ages of my children. And I remember taking it seriously, being a parent. And I know that there's a certain point at which you become your parent's parent. And this is a moment in life when Blythe, the character played my wife, needs parenting. And who is going to do the parenting? You or me? It's a fight in a family for who is going to manage to take care of mom. And as I say, I remember the first time growing up with my children that I realized that my worst stuff would be mirrored by my children. You better be the one you hope they will turn into, Bob. And so I know that giving a good example is one of the things that this movie does for the guy who I am playing. You gave me one of the great parts, the great part in my career.
Well, it's also, you know, truly a family story, and it's got a lot of humor in it. Surprisingly, there's a lot of humor to this situation that you've created, too, and that was on purpose, right?
I grew up in Chicago, and my family was really a family of laughter, right? And we're like, we laugh at stuff, right? So nothing ever was, the only thing we took seriously was God and Catholicism, and everything else was a big, big pile of jokes. So when my grandmother got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I thought that would be the end of that. Like, how could anything be funny anymore? And what I realized was just how funny how we laughed our way through it, and how you laugh, I think, loudest when your heart is about to break.
You know, for me, it's strange to say after all the movies that I've made, and that this is one of the movies that I felt the most vulnerable, because I'm not hiding behind, I'm not strapping my breasts down, and I'm not boxing, I'm not dressing as a boy, I don't have an accent. I'm playing a woman who's struggling to trust her instincts and to find love and to get the approval of her parents. And the layers in this are, between siblings and between parents and between what comes at us in life when we don't expect it, and how we deal with that with levity, as you've talked about, but the emotions that are underneath it and how fleeting it all is.
You're playing a real woman.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Thank you for adding to that, because I didn't quite finish that thought. I'm playing a real woman who's just, like me, trying to figure it out. And that's very vulnerable, to play someone that you feel so much like you, and trying to do the right thing, and yet do the right thing for yourself. And how do you do the right thing for yourself when you feel like you may be letting someone else down?
And this cast, dealing with this cast, must have been just a gem for you to do.
Extraordinary. Like when you introduced Robert, he is someone that I've grown up watching. To think that I'm now acting with him in scenes, and just it's like a master class with you and Blythe. And Blythe's work, I think, in this movie is one of her best. And you've said that you feel like this is one of the best you've done. And I mean, it's hard to pick because you've done so many great roles, but you are astounding in this movie.